Hey guys, Earthshatter here. So I've been playing this Ancestral Commander Earthshatter build in HCSSF. Currently level 92, almost 93. I think the top 10 right now is like level 95 or something like that. 96, so I'm getting close to that. I haven't had as much time to play as I would have liked. Today I'm probably going to attempt doing Exarch and Eater and then just keep pushing. I've already killed the Infinite Hunger and the Black Star already, so damage is pretty good right now. And I kind of just want to go over this Earthshatter build and why I think this is like probably the best start that you could possibly do in PoE 1 right now. Definitely the best melee start, other than like maybe Volcanic Fissure of Snaking looks really fun to play too. But yeah, so there's a lot of moving parts with this build and a lot of things that people might not understand or just aren't aware of. So I'm going to go over a multitude of things in this video on how to like basically progress and also like use Earthshatter and just like some frequently asked questions. So the first thing is that we're using Earthshatter, which if you have it with 20 quality, it actually gets an extra fissure, which a fissure is one of these lines that goes out. So we get 6 instead of 5, and that means an extra spike, which is just overall more damage. Basically, the idea is with Earthshatter, there's an initial slam with these cascading waves that works, but there's spikes. So the spikes detonate when you Warcry. So with my Ascendancy, I'm taking Warcry cooldown recovery rate, because I want to be able to force Warcries as much as possible. So we're using Auto Exertion, which will make us do infinitely automatic Warcries. So I have Intimidating Cry and also Battle Mage's Cry linked with it. So as you can see, I Warcry quite frequently, so those spikes are always going to be detonated for tons of damage. Now, we're also going to use Seismic Cry as well as Enduring Cry as our manual Warcries. Enduring Cry, even without using power with the Warcry, is giving me endurance charges. So you want to be taking a lot of different masteries in this build, and one of them is going to be getting a minimum of 10 power from your Warcries, which means that we will get 2 endurance charges every single time we Enduring Cry. I'm just going to turn off these Warcries here in a sec. But the whole idea too with the auto exertion is that Intimidating Cry, you can read it, it gives us exerted attacks deal double damage. So basically every time I Earthshatter, this is going to be double damage, which is extremely powerful. You always want this. So being able to have this up permanently is really good. And then Battle Mage's Cry is basically if you put a spell in with this Warcry, like linked to it, it will trigger that. So we're using Vulnerability to get Vulnerability basically on hit, like kind of like a curse on hit ring. So that's kind of nice to use. And it also gives us Exerts, which will work with Overexertion. So Overexertion basically gives us 17% more damage for each Warcry exerting them. Right now, currently, I should be using like Infernal Cry as well as like a third manual Warcry, and then I'll get even more damage. But for now, I'm not. And another thing too is that we're getting a mastery for Rage. So Warcries grant 1 Rage per 5 enemy power up to 5. So you can get a maximum of 5 Rage every time you Warcry. But for me, I'm getting a minimum of 10 power for my Warcries. So this is going to give me 2 Rage every single time I Warcry. So that's where we can infinitely sustain Rage. So you can see right here, my Rage isn't going to run out because the Warcries are going to constantly go. So for anyone who doesn't know, Rage every 1 stack is 1% more attack damage, which is multiplicative, so that's big damage. So then basically we're getting 40% more attack damage all of the time, which is really good. And yeah, we're getting the 10% or 10 to maximum Rage from here. Another thing that's really strong with this build is we're getting 9 endurance charges. So really cool thing with Ancestral Commanders, we get 3 of them for free. I actually ended up taking this first in the campaign for an Ascendancy because I actually just like it a lot. It's really strong. But as you can see, 9 endurance charges. We've got 41k armor. Yeah, we're chilling without flasks. So a lot of things are moving parts with the endurance charges. One is that you're going to be taking Disciple the Unyielding, which gives us 8% increased damage per endurance charge. So this is giving us 72% increased damage. It's also giving us 9 times 3, which is 27% increased area of effect. So the stun duration is really good too. And then we're also getting 45% increased armor per for 9 endurance charges. So all in all, the endurance charges are helping us get both defenses from the endurance charge itself, but also armor, AoE, damage, and we're also using endurance charge on melee stun to get 4% more damage per endurance charge. So that's multiplicative, so we're getting basically what is that, 36% more damage. Pretty big. So yeah, we're doing a lot of endurance charge shenanigans, and we're super tanky. And as well, we've got a decent amount of regen, about 500 life regenerated a second, 83 max fire res, 80 cold and lightning res. My chaos res needs to go up, but this is what we got for now. And yeah, 41k armor, everything buffed. We're almost 50k armor. So our armor is working really well for this character because we have so many endurance charges. The more physical damage taken as elemental that you have too, as well as endurance charges, are going to up your survivability a lot on a build like this, because it's going to make your armor way more effective. So all in all, really cool build. This is doing crazy damage. I have basically never missed a beat since progressing. We're using Blood Rage for some better attack speed, and I've also anointed Hatchet Master so that we're getting onslaught on kill. So yeah, it's really fast actually. I took out Pulverize and put in Fortify for now so that I could drop this cluster for Fortify on the tree. And yeah, it's going good. Earthshatter, Overexertion, Melee Fizz, Fortify, and Endurance Charge on melee stun support. I might switch out Melee Fizz for Fist of War just to get even more attack speed, and then I might put this in later, or I might not. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. But yeah, as far as Ascendancy points go, like, I took the Endurance Charges first, and then the Freeze and Chill Immunity one second, and then I took the Warcry CDR third, and then I took Ancestral Defiance fourth. I think that Endurance was a good play for me personally because it kept me alive a lot. Just always having Endurance charges. Basically, I was using Enduring Cry on bosses, and I was just basically just hitting mobs throughout the campaign. I had like 7 Endurance charges at like level 40, which is kind of crazy mitigation, especially for the campaign where there's a lot of fizz damage. And then I took this one second because obviously I just want that freeze immunity kind of as quick as possible because it's just nice. And you're also getting armor is doubled, so it's really, this is a really strong node, Toughened Skin. And then I took the CDR, which was nice to pretty much up, like keep total uptime on my Intimidating Cry for double damage. Now a lot of people have been taking this first, which is definitely not a bad idea because you're just guaranteeing yourself constant uptime of Intimidating Cry and also having basically double damage all the time, which is really strong. And then Ancestral Defiance is just nuts, man. Like, this is actually a really good keystone. Like, it's 15%, which is not as much as if you had like a max rolled Defiance of Destiny, but it is very effective. Another thing too that I dropped, which you might want to keep, is this Warcry's Exert 1 additional attack wheel. I think I might actually go back to this. I've done a lot of pathing stuff with my tree, and I'm kind of taking a break from refunding and all that. But taking this Warcry Mastery for recover 15% of life when you use a Warcry is extremely like strong on this build. Another thing too is using something like General's Cry. I know we don't really benefit from General's Cry. Sorry, I didn't know why I couldn't go to my hideout. But the CDR on General's Cry is kind of insane. So for like your spike detonation uptime, it's like really good. If I just put this in, you can see that General's Cry costs 4 mana, 3 life, so really not that much. And then its cooldown is 1 second. So we can just spam this, right? So if this is getting spammed, you know, Earthshatter spikes are always going to be detonated, sort of thing. I just think it might be decent to put an auto exertion later, but the problem is it doesn't exert any attacks, so it's kind of like a useless thing to use. So I don't know. And another thing too with your Warcries is if I have the same quality on, say, Battle Mage's Cry as Intimidating Cry, it'll actually put the cooldown down to about the same value, I believe. So you kind of want them to stagger. You don't want them to go off at the exact same time. So I've been kind of just chilling with that. I have it basically just so, see, Intimidating Cry goes off, it goes off again, and then Battle Mages. And I might put Battle Mages to like 10 quality just to make it a bit faster, but I basically want them to stagger so that it's always going to be kind of detonating the spikes. And the rotation for me really is I'm just like doing a couple slams, and then I'm enduring cry, and then I do a couple slams, seismic cry, just in case my war cries aren't actually detonating. And as you can see too, like if I do 2 slams, I'm basically keeping up 100% with my intimidating cry in the bottom right to have full uptime of double damage, so that's been really good. But yeah, as far as gear goes, I recently just got this axe, so I ended up getting a razor sharp flat fizz with a T2 attack speed, and I just crafted the trail mod on. Later on, I want to do veiled orb stuff with the fizz weapon, like fizz and accuracy hybrid with, let's just say, probably flat fizz. So I want like a flaring with a percentage hybrid, and then you would want to veiled orbit and get the unveil for fizz, and then you would want to lock prefixes and then get reforged speed for attack speed, hopefully hit something nice. And then for your final mod, you would want to craft on damage per endurance charge, because we have 9 endurance charges. We're going to get like another 50 to 60% increased damage or whatever it is, so pretty huge. The rest of my gear is pretty mediocre, really. Like I've just got, you know, life resistances on gear right now, 30% move speed. I've got non-channeling skills -7 on both rings. I feel like this is really important right now. Another thing that would be nice is if I had life on these rings, but for right now I kind of just want the minus mana cost so that I can manage my mana a little bit better. And then I've got a decent amulet. It's got life resistances, and yeah, that's basically kind of it. The weapon's decent. I would like a better weapon though. The build lives and dies with the weapon you use, so if you have a better weapon, you're going to do a lot more damage. And yeah, that's basically it. My royal plate, I just spammed reforged defense with harvest, crafted on the armor for now, and then I'm using the life mastery so that I can get 15% max life, because we don't have any life rolls on the body armor, so that's really big. And I think that's about it, honestly, guys, for right now. I'll update you guys when I kill, you know, like the next bosses and stuff, and get all my void stones probably. But yeah, that's coming soon. I think I can do it really on the gear I have currently, to be honest, because the damage is really good. It's not like amazing damage, but it is like totally suitable for the amount of progression I've done and the amount of stuff I've had to farm. I really haven't done much. But yeah, boats and like expedition have been kind of really good. I want to go suppression eventually, I think, on this guy. I'm not sure. And then I have these boots that I got from ROG, which are absolutely insane. 35 MS. T1 suppression, T1 life, T1 cold res, and then I just got these gloves as well from the boats. They have like perfect suffixes, so I can actually, suffixes cannot be changed, and then roll with these after and try and get something decent. But yeah, I think I kind of want to go suppression, but it requires going like way over here and stuff, so I'm not entirely sure if I want to do that, and I also have to go up here for it. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that's about it. I'd probably go iron reflexes too, and you know, use suppression mastery for evasion. With iron reflexes, we'll have tons of armor still, and basically be suppression capped. And yeah, I don't know, that's about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.